It's about time. Let me say what's on my mind. I need a woman in here. I need a woman with a skill. A woman who can hold me down. Who can hold me down. Go ahead and get going. You don't want to level up. Oh, yeah, it's the lady call. Around up, girl, let's get it on. It's the lady call. Just leave a legacy on the own. Man, it's the lady call. Around up, girl, let's get it on. It's the lady call. Round up, girl, get it on. Hello, everyone. Hey, hey, hey. It is Wednesday night, and it's time for the Lady Boss Show. For some reason, it felt like it was Thursday, probably because I come on Thursday night a lot. But tonight, we're here on Wednesday night doing the Lady Boss Show. I want to welcome everyone who has already have joined and those who are going to join. Let me go ahead and say I want to welcome all of the replay viewers as well, because I know the power of replay. Everybody cannot necessarily come in during when it's live because we have other things going on at that time. But I want to shout out everyone who's been watching the replays, because the views and the stats has been phenomenal since I have started the Lady Ball Show. So if you do not know me, who I am your host and the creator of this show. So tonight I'm going to be talking to an influential woman who sings every single song like it's her last time singing. Like literally, I want you guys after the show to go and look at her Instagram videos and her Facebook page. I love her voice, so I'm so excited to introduce her to my audience, to my family, and to my friends as well. Now, just in case you do not know what this is, if you do not know anything about this particular show, the Lady Boss Show is something that I have created. And it's a platform and a space I want to have girl talk with women, influential women who are using their God-given gifts to transform the world, society, or even in their community. And so I thought of the Becoming Her series, where these women are, in my eyes, are chosen jewels. They're doing their thing. God has blessed them. They're using, like I said, their God-given gifts, and they're making it happen. They're not trying to be like anybody else. They're trying to be like themselves. So I'm definitely excited to be able to to deliver this show and to bring this to everyone. Now, if you have not shared this out, please feel free to share this broadcast out to your fans and family, and leave some comments so I can shout you out. I like to engage with my viewers, and I like to highlight your comments as well. And so now let me go ahead and also say this broadcast is being sponsored by Dash of Sophistication Boutique, my online boutique, as well as Charnel Healthcare Services. And I'm also have started my own podcast, Cultivating the Lux Lifestyle Podcast. Is on Anchor FM, and it just became available on Apple Podcast platform as well. Now, if anybody is interested, if you're interested in becoming a Lux sponsor, what you can do, you go to veronicacharnel.com, my personal website, and you want to go up on the tab that says Become a Lux Sponsor, and that will give you all the information that you need, the packages that we have, if you're interested in becoming a Lux sponsor as well. Now, last week I was talking about doing a giveaway. If you check out my page, the Dash Sophistication Facebook page, you will actually see I just literally put the person that won last week that liked the page and that shared it out. So that's how you win to get a free $50 gift card. That it does not expire. So if you see something on the website that you don't like, you can always use it at another time. So what you have to do is like the page, share the broadcast out, and even if you are watching a replay, you're still eligible to do that, and that puts you in the drawing for a $50 gift card. So this week, anyone who does that, And this week you would definitely be in the drawing as well. So let me see. I got my little list, everything lined up as well on my little my little list to help me stay intact. Last week I shot out the top 8 countries and the top cities. This week I'm gonna kind of hold off just on this particular live stream show. I'm so thankful is being seen overseas. So the ladies who have been on this show have been getting more exposure. So I'm so thankful for that. That's why I always said thank you for all those who watch this replay and for those who share this out as well. So let me go ahead and introduce my guest so I can bring her on so everybody can get to know her and we can start chatting and talking and whatnot and having a little girl talk. So this young lady, I met her through Instagram. She's based out of Texas. She is, to me, I love her voice. I've been watching her Instagram videos. I'm like, all of that out of that voice, out of that body, she can hold. There's a video that she did, and she put flashback, and she can hold a tune. And I'm taking vocal lessons as well. So I said, wow, she has some lung capacity. She got a lot of it. You can tell she's been singing for a long time. You can tell. But I want everyone to get to know her because she's an author too. She's a singer, a songwriter. She's a recording artist. And so I want everyone to get to know this young lady because she's a rising star. And believe it or not, one day I see her actually hitting the Grammys as well. And so I want to introduce my guest, the one I feel like I'm doing the were you bringing the speaker of the hour on in church? So the one I'm giving reference to is none other than Gabrielle Ayers. So I'm going to switch it so you guys can see her. Hi, Gabrielle.
Hi. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to just be here. What an introduction.
Thank you. That's coming from the heart. That's coming from the heart. We've been interacting on Instagram. I've been talking with you. We're friends on Facebook. I thought, I love this girl's spirit. You can just kind of tell that there's something here. So I definitely had to feature you on my show. Thank you for accepting the offer.
Yes,
as well as coming on the Lady Boss Show.
Thanks for having me. Honor.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. For coming from you, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Even though, this show just started, the numbers that I'm seeing and the women that's coming up here, the God is just blowing me away.
Wow.
Like slowly but surely. He's blowing me away. And I'm grateful. And viewers, if anyone is watching, feel free to tell us what city and state. I forgot to mention that earlier. Tell us what city and state that you're watching us from so I can shout you out and I can put your comments on the screen as well so you can be featured. So Gabrielle, you can start off by telling us a little bit about yourself. So we're going to go through your journey just a little bit.
Sure. Okay. Well, let's see. Born in Bryan, College Station, grew up in the greater Houston area. I've been singing forever. I'm a creative by nature. So I think I've probably transitioned through a lot of loves, whether it be acting, singing, writing, and so I consider myself a creative, like whatever, God puts in me, I just want to, put it out. So I've been singing professionally since I was about 16. So I don't want to give my age too much, but that's more than a decade, like way more. But singing professionally since I was 16, and it's been a journey. You know what I mean? Every time you think that I won't say you arrived, but every time you think that, okay, this is it, you realize, wait, this ain't it. And there's just like, okay, there's so much more to learn. And then as you evolve, you learn that, hey, it's not what I thought it was. I actually want this. I actually want it to look like this. What does life look like as a singer, as a recording artist? So it's been a journey, but I'm loving every bit of it. You know what I mean? I'm loving every bit of it. But I wrote a children's book about, I think 2 years ago now, inspired by my daughter, and about hitting hair and all of those things that, us women love. And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, now I'm working on an EP. I'm excited, doing some great things, trying to use all my gifts because before
Yes.
working, pursuing music full time as a recording artist, I was a Spanish teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So teaching high school Spanish, I definitely didn't want to just put that to the side. So using all my gifts, I'll be releasing a song in Spanish soon. So, just a little bit of
Oh.
everything. Just trying to use all my gifts to glorify God and, and just enjoy
Mm-hmm.
the journey each and every day.
So that's why I see, because I took Spanish in high school and in
Mm-hmm.
college. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why. So I know, and then I grew up around Latinos as well. I grew up
Okay.
around Dominicans, and I grew up around Puerto Ricans as well. So that's why I was like, who wants to learn foreign language? I want to learn Spanish so I can know more about what they're talking about. So that's why on your videos on Instagram, you sing it in Spanish.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I mean, you do awesome. Now, my favorite Tejano singer is Selena, like
Okay.
like all times. But now I understand why you sing it in Spanish and English. But that's just good. That enlarges your territory.
Yes, it does. And of course,
Mhm.
in Texas, we love Selena. We love her.
Yeah. Hmm.
May she rest in peace. But yeah,
Hmm.
I try to use a little bit of everything. It's whenever sometimes you're called to many things, and so just because you start focusing on one thing, it doesn't mean you have to totally put away the other. And so Spanish has always been a part of my life, of what I've loved. And so I'm just
Hmm.
kind of adding it to what I do.
Oh, and Gabriel, we already have a question from one of the viewers. She said, "What part does your family play in your life?"
Oh my goodness. Well, we have, of course, my husband and my daughter, and then we have, my mom and my dad and my sister. The part, it's huge. They're a huge part because really they're your support system. And if
Hmm.
you don't get support from anyone else, you
Hmm.
have to have, or you really crave and need that support from your family. And I'm going
Hmm.
to speak on behalf of my husband because when you say, "Hey, babe, I'm gonna quit teaching. I'm gonna go be a singer," you gotta, he gotta really love you and really believe in you, because you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying. Because people think it's all glitz and glam, and it doesn't work like that.
Right.
So having that support system, having someone that will believe in you, that will pray with you, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
that will partner with you,
Hmm.
is super important. So I couldn't do it without them. Even my daughter Kensington, she's 4 years old, but when she sees mommy on stage, leading worship or singing,
Hmm.
she knows like, okay, this is mommy's in her zone. She's doing her thing. And she's learned that. So you even need that support from your kids. So it's
Right.
very important. And if you don't have that support, I would just say pray for it, because sometimes your friends can be like your family and you might get that same support from them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now, are you a preacher's kid? Like, are you a
No,
pastor's
I get
kid?
that question a lot. You know what? I think it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago, my parents became deacons. But other
Okay.
than that, I'm not a PK. I am not a PK.
Okay, but you grew up in church though.
Yes, yes,
I know
definitely.
it's something, there's something gleaming about ministry. That's why I was
Hmm.
like, let me ask her, she's a preacher's kid. Now you said you're an author. I know
Yeah.
you're an author, so I know you say you write a children's book. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna ask you, you said it was inspired by your daughter.
Yes, I
What
actually have
inspired you to write that particular book?
I'm gonna pull it up here. It's a really cute book. I'm really proud
Hmm.
of it. There it is.
Hmm.
Little Queen's Beauty Dreams. And so I was inspired because, well, I told you I'm a creative, so it's nothing for me to
Hmm.
write. But um, when I wrote this, it was really, I realized, like, you know what, I have a little girl, and little girls are gonna have to get their hair done. And
Hmm.
I'm her mama, and I'm gonna have to do her hair. And
Yes.
she's gonna want this style and this style and this style. And I remember growing up, I couldn't have, I don't know how these new age children, but I couldn't have every style. Some of them styles was too grown and all of
Yes,
that,
that's true.
stay in a child's place. So I remember thinking like she's gonna have her first trip to the beauty salon. And
Hmm.
if you know anything about the natural hair community in general, they're
Hmm.
they're all they have lots of books actually about little girls and their hair. But I realized, you know what? we focus so much on our hair, and we pass that down to our kids. We pass that down to our little girls. And so basically the premise of the book is about a little girl excited about getting her hair done, going to the shop for the first time. And she's imagining all of these hairstyles. And then she realizes through the wisdom of her mother that none of them actually matter, that it's actually what's in your brain. It's what's in your head that matters versus what's on your head. And so I think that's important for our girls to know that it's your mind that makes you beautiful. You know, and having a beautiful mind, having a healthy mind. Your hair, it's great too, but what's going on up here? So I want to instill that in her because it's so easy. You know, we grew up like that. We grew up as Black women. You know, make sure your hair, the edges are laid. You know, we get that hot comb on Easter Sunday.
I know about them hot combs.
Okay.
My back of my neck, my ear.
Right, hold your ear. Hold it. You know, you remember that? Like, oh,
and it still get burnt.
Exactly. So we grew up.
I know about that. Then I used to get the Black hair care books to learn how to do my hair because I got very thick hair and it was just like boof. So that was the days when my mom was doing my hair. When I know about the hot comb days. Has changed the hot comb. It's a little bit better. The day we used to have to lay it on the stove. Oh my goodness. And then you hear it.
And that's how you know it's working. You just like, Lord, just don't let it touch my ear. Just don't let it touch. But we did these things and I'm not, you know, mad at them, but I just didn't want to instill that same, it's all about what's on your head attitude, you know, with our children, with our girls, with my daughter. So I was inspired to write it and I connected with an awesome illustrator, Brianna James. She's phenomenal. And and I was like, you know what? I got to do it. You know, you can't wait on someone to validate your dreams, you know, to validate what God has put in you.
Say it.
I went for it. But yeah, it's available. Amazon, Barnes and Nobles is out there everywhere to purchase. Yeah.
But do you have any other books that's coming out soon?
You know what? Someone said you need to make a Little Queens series, but I am writing one for little boys. But it'll be a little time for that one. That one's kind of marinating. It took me about 2 years to write Little Queens because I wrote it and I sat and then I added to it. So it's gonna be the same process because I really want to, you know, see what is God asking me or what does He want me to say to little boys, the little young men. So, but I'm sure soon another one will come out.
That I'm sure it's going to be good because I the first one, I know the first one is good. So I know the second one is going to be good. Now you say you've been singing like forever, ever since you were little. When do you discover your voice? You know, when do you get that confidence and decide to do what you do?
Wow, that's such a great question. It really is. Like, when did I discover? Because that you know, I'm a creative, so that can just be so deep. My voice, what voice are we talking about? Like, okay, like, are we talking about my singing voice, my voice, my mind? You know, but I would say I've been singing forever since I was about 3. You know, everyone says that's like the magical age when you start talking 3. But I can say I discovered my voice when I was 9, and when I say that I was saved, I accepted Christ at 9. And I knew, like, it was like a conscious decision. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I just want to go, you know, in the water. I knew what I was doing. And from that moment, I remember just singing with such conviction, knowing that that's what I wanted to sing. I wanted to sing about God. And so as, you know, as I got older and all, you know, you realize I can look back at things that I've written and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. But it's so indicative of that time. You know, when I got older, I realized, you know, I said, there's so much to be said, especially being a believer. Sometimes you're put in a box, you know what I'm saying? But there's so much to be said. So I think at 9, I discovered that, hey, there's more to life than just what we see. I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope I'm not rambling. And then I just wanted to be that voice. I wanted to be that voice of life. I don't believe that your life has to be separate, like Christianity and I'm a mom, or Christianity and my, like, I think they can merge beautifully together.
Absolutely.
And so I like to write songs about love, about life, about hurt, because I
Mm-hmm.
am a Christian. I'm a person that loves God going through this experience. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
what I feel like I discovered, or that I'm discovering, is that you can communicate through music so beautifully about anything that goes on, you know? So I think 9 would be the age, though, just to really wrap that question up.
So 9, you started singing in the church,
Yes,
or
yes.
9 years old. I was listening to all different types of music. Of
Yeah.
course, I had sisters who would play like pop, reggae, R&B. We had all different types of music.
Uh-huh.
Town. So I got introduced to a lot of different types of music, but I fell in love with the diversity. But
Hmm.
for me, there's nothing like gospel. There's nothing
Yeah.
like gospel music. It hits home and it awakens your soul. So when you started singing at 9 in the church at 9, were you like you was in the choir? Did you start leading some songs around that?
Yes. I was in the choir, in the youth choir. And I think the first song, well, one of the first songs that I can remember leading was "This Is the Day That the Lord Has Made." And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just, I belted it out with all my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I can
That's a
reflect back, and
classic.
you know what I mean? This is the day. It was so, so emotional about it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in the choir, and actually at my church home, I've matriculated literally through every choir that exists there, minus the men's choir. So I've been in
Mm-hmm.
the Sunbeam Youth Choir, Teen Choir, Young Adult Choir, Mass Choir,
Good
Worship
Lord.
Team. Like, I've been in every single part. And
Mm-hmm.
so there are people who were there when I was 5, and now I'm directing them.
That's
I
good.
was once just a kid, and now I'm actually directing them in the choir. So it's actually quite
Mm-hmm.
funny to go from like the 5-year-old, where okay, to now I'm your your leader. It's like, okay, all right,
But
I can deal with that.
But that's good. That means, you just advanced.
Right.
Basically, you just got to that point because you put a lot of your different performances and things in on YouTube. It's on your
Hmm.
YouTube and you put it on Instagram. And another thing I was gonna ask you, do you have like a built-in like a home studio? Because that mic you did, especially around Christmas time, you did a video where you did like singing that Christmas song.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like
Yeah. I wish, oh my goodness, I so wish that was my studio. No, actually,
Mhm.
that's a good friend of mine. I won't call him my drummer because he definitely shares his gift with everyone, but for the sake of this, he's my drummer. But
Mhm.
it's his studio, and it's called the Auditorium Studio here in Houston, and he is absolutely just fabulous, and I love the vibe because it's really homey. But yeah, we shoot a lot of things there and just kind of vibe. It's kind of like it's the studio where you can just really vibe and just kind of play around.
Mhm.
But sometimes
Mhm.
studios are really cold. You got to be you. Every artist has their studio that they love. So I
Right.
definitely love the auditorium, and work with Sean anytime I can get. He's actually, I always want to shout him out because he actually was
Mhm.
one of Beyonce's drummers at Coachella.
Say what now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said it. He might watch this and be like, "You ain't gonna seal it." Well, you did it, so it's true. But yeah, so he's definitely gifted and so humble.
Yeah,
So that's at the
that's
auditorium.
good. I mean, yeah, give honor where honor's due. Shoot, I
Yeah.
would I would claim him too. That means he's like he got some gifts on top of gifts. That's
Yes,
great. And
yes,
see,
definitely.
that's what I like to highlight women who are using their gift because you don't know who you're going to inspire. You
Right.
can take a little girl. My thing now is you take a little girl and you could turn her into a woman and then turn her into this entrepreneur, into this what I call the lady boss. Because
Hmm.
you never know. If you sit on it, you don't never know. You don't know who you can touch,
Right.
in the process. And our lives is like a story being played like every single day. So
Hmm.
that's how I see you, Gabrielle, when you're singing and when performing, it's like you just belting it, giving it your all. That's how I see it. So from church, and we know how it is with the local church
Yeah.
and being up front, being the worship leader. what made you decide to, like, I want to go make this professional, get into the music industry? Because your next thing is probably, you looking at, I know you think about Grammys. You're thinking about the Stella Awards, the Dove Awards. So, how did you go about your steps? Because somebody may be interested in doing the same thing that you're doing.
Right. Well, I think you definitely have to throw your whole self at it. And each industry in general has their respected community. So, I mean, of course, within music, you have the Grammys, you have the Oscars within movies, the Emmys within television. So each community has their respected community, or each, I want to say each art has their respected community. So it's almost kind of a part of the territory. I think as an artist, deep down inside, you might want to say, oh, I don't need the recognition. I don't need the accolades. But at the same time, you're human. And so it gives you that confirmation that you're doing something right. There is a balance that you have to have as a Christian creative, because we are doing things for the kingdom. At the end of the day, it's all for the kingdom. I strongly believe that only what you do for God will last. And I think that could be with anything. That could be at your job as an engineer, your influence there. But I think we also have to realize that, hey, there's a certain amount of respect, and that you want your gifts recognized. So I would say to anybody doing it to really just throw your whole self at it and get connected with the right people, pray for those connections, and enjoy that journey. Because if you're doing it for the right reasons, then, or if you're seeking the kingdom, I'll say it like that. If you're seeking that purpose, and the reason why God chose you and allows you to do it anyway, everything else will come. Sometimes we get so anxious about things because our focus is not on the right thing. Like we're anxious. If I'm anxious about tomorrow, well, God told me to focus on today. That means I'm too focused on tomorrow. So I think, it's important to just enjoy each journey. What I can say is that each and every step that you take, each and everything, even those things that you think are totally irrelevant, are so important to the next step in your journey. Everything counts. So you don't have to be concerned, hey, well, I'm not in the career I want to be in now. I'm not in the position. Everything is so important. The lessons that you learn are so important at that step. And sometimes you're going to stay there all day until you realize, hey, I'm supposed to be learning something right there. So I would say just throw your whole self at it. I think T.D. Jakes might have said that. Throw your whole self at it. Pursue purpose. Money comes later. Pursue purpose. And just take it day by day. Take it day by day.
I like what you just said. Pursue purpose. Money comes later. Because a lot of times people looking, I want to get rich. I want to become a superstar, and it doesn't come fast enough. You get disencouraged. And I like what you said, because that purpose keeps you grounded. And I believe that's what you basically how you operate on that, correct?
Oh, definitely. Because I'm a creative, I'm emotional, and if I look away just for a moment, then I'm gonna be in tears and ready to throw in the towel. You know what I mean? So but then you realize, hey, this is what I was born to do. So definitely pursuing purpose, and just I say keep my head down, but not feeling too big about yourself. Like everything matters. So yeah, definitely. Money comes later. It'll come. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It'll come.
Yeah, definitely it'll come. And I want to highlight the viewer, Dana. She said, this is so true, little cuz.
Yeah. Hey, Dana.
So she totally agrees with what you're saying. Well, I might have to use that, Gabrielle. Stay on your purpose and pursue that. I like that.
That'll preach.
Yeah, that'll preach. I like that. And so you consider to be like an independent artist?
Yes.
Or are you getting into, has anyone, with your voice, I'm surprised, I don't know yet. I feel it's coming. A producer, record label have not snatched you up.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm very much so independent. The industry, I think, is constantly evolving.
It
And
is.
I'm
It
not
is.
gonna be a person to say, well, I'm not looking for this, I'm okay. Listen, whatever God has for me, you know what I'm saying? If it's the right thing, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be like, okay, God, I'm here.
Yeah.
Uh, but
Mm-hmm.
I am independent. So, we grind. We in the studio, we're writing, we're putting out music, trying to put out good music. Because sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it now. People, I don't know how we might get some shocking reactions, but
It's okay.
artists want people to support their music, and but you gotta put out good music, and that takes time, and
Yes.
you can't be upset at your friends and family they not sharing your stuff, or it's like, Lord,
Mm-hmm.
where did you make this? Like,
Mm-hmm. Right.
take your time on your art, because it's art at the end of the day, So all of it takes time. So definitely independent, but I'm open to whatever God has for me. But like I said, I'm enjoying the journey. It's definitely it's definitely like a pursuit. Like, you knock on doors. Let me say it like that. I love being a
Mm-hmm.
part of
Mm-hmm.
people's functions, women's conferences, things like that. But I don't wait, like I'm just too good to ask, hey, do you all need a worship leader? I'm not too good for that. I would love to be a part of people's programs. So I think that's part of the grind, and that's part of that pursuing purpose. If you know you have a gift and something to share, then you go share. You don't wait for people to ask you to share. You ready to share it. And so I think
Right.
that's important
That's
to
good.
remember that. Eventually doors, people gonna be, hey, we need you. I'll be overly booked in the name of Jesus. But until then, I have no shame in reaching out to people, because I know that there's a gift, and that gift needs to be shared. So, but yeah.
Right. Absolutely. And then you're not being picky. You're not like saying, "No, I don't want to do this." No, I see you as being grateful, and I see you as being thankful along the way.
Yeah.
And I think that if a lot of folks, when they do reach that superstardom status, and
Mm-hmm.
when you do get all them awards, if they stay level-headed, I think
Mm-hmm.
they get carried along. They have longevity in the industry than cracking.
Right.
You know,
Definitely.
crack, because when that does happen, stardom comes, money comes. A lot of people forget.
Yeah.
By watching them, they forget about the beginning, the basics, the
Mm-hmm.
foundation, and I think that's why a lot of artists kind of slip up and lose it,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And so I know, Gabriel, that you're a worship leader. So we know ministry is definitely is work. It's
Yeah.
not, and you can sit back and just like and just relax. It's work all the time. Do you ever feel pressured? Because I know when a worship leader, there's a lot of requirement for you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have a lot of personalities that you have to deal with. Because I've been in the choir, I know how the choir can be. You ever feel pressured or be under stress? And if you have, how do you deal with that? For anyone else who's in a worship leader that needs advice or encouragement.
I think within music and church, I think if you can talk to anybody, and they'll say things can get a little bit messy, a
Mm-hmm.
little bit touchy.
Mm-hmm.
I think within ministry, I've experienced highs and lows, and
Mm-hmm.
what I've learned is that it's all mess, and none of it really matters. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
half the time, everything is a big old miscommunication in the first place. You know what I mean? Just trying
Mm-hmm.
to cause confusion. And what I've learned is you have to err on the side of love. When you deal with people, you always got to deal with people in love, and that's hard. Easier said than done.
Oh
But you got to
yes.
deal with people with love, and really that's being slow to anger. You know what I mean? Like, don't be so
Mm-hmm.
angry and to be frustrated. I know as a worship leader, there are technically no days off. For me, there are no days off, and because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the time it's preparation. Like preparing Monday through Saturday, what is going to happen on a Sunday, and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a, it's a it's a good responsibility. But I would tell any worship leader just to really, for song choices, like the song has to minister to you before you can minister
Yes.
the song. So don't be quick just to pick the newest song out there, but has it ministered to you? have you been able to really dig deep in the song? As
Mm-hmm.
far as introducing that song to other people, I know sometimes people don't like the song choices. You know how it is, like, oh, why are we singing that song? You know, like if the song ministers to you and you have a testimony about it, then you'll be able to share with them that testimony. They'll be like, wow, okay. They'll be able to connect a little bit with the song as well. But
Right.
in general, dealing with people, dealing with them in
Uh,
love, you know, and you just know
mm-hmm.
your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an
Mm-hmm.
honor to be on whatever stage, you know, that you're on. So treat it as an honor, you know, because you're preparing people's hearts. You know, that's such a huge privilege.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. And then because the worship, like the praise and worship team comes out first. A lot of times
mhm.
the choirs come out first. And then, sometimes it's like early in the morning, you like, and y'all the ones that has to like just push it out. Because
Yeah.
you never know, people are coming in heavy, they get feel a little burdened, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes you could be burdened. You have good days, you have bad days. And so you have to you have a way of what is your techniques if you ever run into that of preparing your mind and your spirit to deliver to the people?
I pray. I really just I ask God for exactly what I need, whatever I need at that time.
Mm-hmm.
If I know I'm tired, you know, praying the scriptures is important. You know, His power is perfected in our weakness. That's something I say all the time. So really, when I'm weak, I'm actually strong. I always ask
Mm-hmm.
God to decrease me and increase Him. You know what I mean? And allow me to be transparent. But I mean, prayer works. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could. I mean,
Yes.
I wish I could do anything. Like really, it's just prayer, and just giving it to Him. And sometimes too, we confuse, or people confuse, someone who's leading worship as someone who's getting ready to perform for you. And even as worship leaders, as people pursuing our own art, we can put that on ourselves. Like, I really gotta get it. Woo, I'm gonna really have to bring it this Sunday. I gotta bring it down. And I'm like, all right, watch me now. And we put that pressure on ourselves, like, like, I'm really gonna tear it up today. And then
Mm-hmm.
nobody asked you to do that. Like, no one asked you. You didn't have to tear nothing up. Like, all you got to do is be used and decrease you, and be sensitive
Mm-hmm.
to the Holy Spirit. And so if you take that pressure off of you, like as I was growing, like probably in my teen years, I felt I was that person. That's how I can speak on. I was like, all right, Lord, I'm ready. Use me, Lord. But I
Mm-hmm.
put too much on myself. Now I'm just like, you know what? I'm not really here to cheerleader people. I'm not gonna try to pump him up. I'm gonna definitely encourage and lift him up, because
Right.
he
Right.
be lifted up. He'll draw them in, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, just don't put that pressure on yourself. Like, you gotta, come with it, And
Mm-hmm.
so that's another thing. It's not a performance. It's ministering. You just helping people. You leading people.
Right. Now, do you have any upcoming events that you wanna let us know about? Any singing events or engagement, anything that's going on, in your church or in your community?
Well, I'm always, I always feel like inviting people to church. So definitely First Metropolitan Church, Harvest Point, Fellowship definitely will be there. In general, those aren't events, but hey, if you need a good church home, either one of those
Mm-hmm.
is a great place to
Mm-hmm.
start.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm chill on the events because I am actually trying to put my head down and get this EP done. So, I will hopefully, I say hopefully, but hopefully within the next couple of months, be working on a music video. I've had one music video, so it'll be my second music video. So that in itself is like a big task. So I'm putting all my energy and resources
Mm-hmm.
trying to get all that together. But so people can look out for a music video and a new single coming. So I'm excited about that.
I'm excited 'cause I like to watch your videos. You know that. I'm like, good Lord. Now, when you say your support system, your husband, for those who are married and those who are into could be into music or anything, you said something at the beginning of the show. You said it's not that easy to just say, I want to pursue music and leave my job and that's it. You
Mm-hmm.
said it's not that easy.
Mm-hmm.
How? Because I know your support system. You want first and foremost, you want your husband to have your back.
Yes.
That's like number one. So how much is he into with you? Does he help you write? Does anything back up? Does he even play, the music, instruments as well?
You know what? He is my number one like cheerleader. I'll say that. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know
I
it because
know.
he'll say things like, yeah, you did, it was cool. You did cool. You was cool. Because he's like, head gets too big, He's like, it was cool. But he's whatever I need. I'll be honest with you. He's been the camera person. He's been the roadie with the luggage and like traveling and all that stuff. He's absolutely everything that I need. And it's so important. And we used to joke and say he's my manager because he's my man and he manages. And I think that the one thing, at least for me, that he does the best is that he reads my emotions. He knows what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. And so I have a tendency, it's like I get the regular anxieties and regular things that you get when you're about to perform or you got something to do. Like I absolutely hate being late. I hate being late for anything, especially when it comes to. So he knows not to talk to me. He knows not to have people talk to me, like, because I'm in the zone. And so he actually reads my emotions really well. I've expressed to him, I was like, you can dig a little deeper. You can come a little deeper onto this side if you really want to get into this business. But just like with any marriage, he's like, well, how do you want me to help? Because it's not like there's a book for it. Like, what do you want me to do? And so we're figuring it out together. But I say, you know what? We'll start what you're doing now. And like he manages my Facebook page. Like he definitely helps, share things out. But right now we're just trying to figure out how he's gonna best fit outside of just what he's already doing. And that's how it is sometimes. I would say for anybody doing anything really, you can't make your spouse fit into something that they were not created or cannot do. Like you can't, like you're gonna be my manager. Like I'm gonna buy him a book to be a manager all of a sudden. He's like, okay, so you can't make them. So you really gotta just see where they best fit. You know what I'm saying? Like what makes them comfortable, because the last thing you want to do is have a wedge come between you two because you're trying to make them do something that they don't know how to do or they're not comfortable doing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, right. That's wisdom. That's wisdom right there. So I know you are creative because I know you're an author, you're a writer, and you does songwriting. When I told you, I said I do music and I write songs. I straight freestyle. It's like totally unplanned. I'm like, where did that come from? And I just put it together and there it is. Do you do the same thing, or do you think about what type of music, your vision, it's like your new song that you're going to release soon? Do you have a vision for that before you actually sat down and did that song or wrote that song?
I think so. I think I do. It just depends. I've written music, Bridal Blues, that's a single that's out there, and Piece of Heaven. Both are singles that are available online. You can stream them. But those were almost like commission pieces. So I wrote those originally for like a Easter production, but they were my songs, but I wrote them. So those were something that I sat and thought about, said, okay, what is it that they're needing? And, how can I make it fit? And, voila. But most of the times, I think I write in a way that how do I want people to feel? I always like people to journey and go on a journey in my music and it to build. So how do I want people to feel? What do I want them to know? And feeling comes the tone of the music, the vibe of the music, and obviously what I want them to know comes the lyrics. You know what I mean? So once I know that, then it immediately puts me in different keys. If I want them to feel happy, I'm not going to sing a song that's really sad. I'm going to sing it in a certain key or with a certain rhythm. But definitely, what do I want them to feel? And what do I want them to know? How do I want them to feel? What I want them to know? And I just go from there. And sometimes I get the hook first, I get the chorus first, and I write it down. I do a lot of things in the shower. That's the best studio. I mean, y'all, to be honest. Yeah, I just however it comes, and sometimes things come in pieces, and so yeah, I think that's how I approach the song. And then sometimes I'm like, I need to write this type of song, and I'm like, Lord, I need to write this type of song. This is what I'm looking for, and I just you can study genres of music and write that type of song. So yeah.
Well, you're good at what you do. Gabriel, you know, I've been like listening to like, oh my God, I've been listening to you, been watching it, and I'm just like, that's why I said I got to ask her to come on my show. And so I'm hopefully the viewers, those who watch the replay, that you guys will go to her Instagram page, that you will follow her on Instagram, follow her on Facebook. You would not be disappointed. I was trying to actually play one of your videos, but it wouldn't play for me one time, and I didn't want to mess anything up. But I want you, ladies and gentlemen, you know, follow her because she is just awesome. Do you also ever do anything like lessons, any vocal lessons to anyone, whether it's like on site in Texas or virtually? If anyone is thinking about it.
I do some vocal coaching and vocal performance coaching. I would probably say more vocal performance. And, you know, I've done some things virtually, but, you know, there hasn't been a huge demand, probably because I haven't put myself out there like that. But I definitely, I think some younger people have come, college students, teenagers who are doing different shows. And so, yeah, I like to encourage them. I did have a creative arts camp, I think 2 years ago, and I did some vocal performance coaching, you know, teaching stage presence and how to sell a song, you know what I'm saying? So the voice is one thing, but you can have the most beautiful voice, but if your stage presence isn't that, you know, great, then you won't be able to really convey that song. So definitely I do it as on a need basis. So people kind of reach out to me, you know, I encourage them and we kind of do that one-on-one thing. But yeah, you know, virtually or in person.
Okay, so then if anyone's interested, they can kind of hit you up on Facebook or Instagram if you want to do anything virtually. And I do want to shout out, we have Karen and Dana has put some comments in there. Karen has said that she was proud of you. I believe that's your cousin as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen. Dana, for joining us live. Feel free to share this broadcast out so they can see, you know, this beautiful young lady in action, because I love her voice. And Dana said that she needs your help. So then I'll let y'all two connect and kind of work on that. That's why I asked you, because you know you have a nice voice. So anybody who can sing and they turn it into a profession, they can turn around and teach you how to do it as well. Because it's a lot of little breathing techniques, posture, all that comes into play that I had no idea before. Because sometimes, Gabrielle, in the choir, that you don't get that. You don't get the professional aspect of it. It's more than just to sing. You want to like it's just more than that. It's more to it than that. And then also Karen said, oh, she's requesting you to sing a small snippet. Now I done heard it. A small snippet in Spanish. I was going to ask her, I don't know if I was going to ask Gabrielle, because I want to go to her page. But it's up to you, Gabrielle, if you want
to. Snippet in Spanish. I love, listen, you got some great people to say that. Let's see here. And so it's going to be hard for me to sing because I'm smiling so big. You know, a lot of people know Waymaker. And Waymaker is it's almost like a universal anthem. So shout out to Sonata for that song. But let's see. Milagroso, abres camino, cumples promesas, luz en tinieblas, Dios, así eres tú. I can't say it no more. Y'all check out the video on YouTube. Go to the YouTube. It's on there.
Thank you. And Karen said that God has great things in store. I totally agree with you, Karen, because I can see it. I said, now wait a minute. I see something like in the spiritual. I can see it surpass. Looking at all her hair, because I love her hair. I love big hair. I do. I love that big hair, and I'll be trying to get it, but I can't get it quite like that just yet. But I love the big hair, and then it comes out in your voice. That's what I see, Gabrielle. Your spirit and everything about you, your lifestyle, is reflecting in your voice and everything that you're doing. So I want to take time and highlight some of the viewers' comments. Oh, Dana said, she said, sang. And thank you, Karen. Karen put you on the spot, but you did good. You did good. I like that voice. And I want to thank Bessie. That's my mom watching. She's always supporting. She said, yes. She said, you have a great sound. And see, I like on the spot. I'm going to try to take her to your Instagram page so she can watch more of your videos. And so, oh, and Karen said, big hair and don't care. I absolutely agree, Karen. I love that big hair. I just like it. I like how it look. I'm trying to
it's out there.
make it happen. I'm gonna see if I can make it happen by summertime. I'm gonna see if I can make it happen by summertime. But I want to thank everybody. If you have viewers, if you have any other questions for Gabrielle, feel free to put it in the comments. And then also you can still put in the comments even at the end of the broadcast, because she could go back and comment of any questions you have, anything you want to know about her music, any upcoming events, vocal lessons, as she was stating, connect with her. She's an author too, so she has a book out already. Can you hold that up again?
Yes. Okay. Little Queen's Beauty Dreams.
And it's talking about that hair, that big hair. And so she's going to be working on another book as well. She'll tell us about dealing with guys though. Oh, and Dana said your hair goes along with your big voice, and you have like a genuine. So thank you, ladies, for your comments and for your shares. If you haven't shared it, please share this out to your fans, friends, and followers as well. And then also when you do share, that puts you into the drawing of next week of winning a $50 gift card from Nashvillefication Boutique for those who like the page and share it out. So Gabrielle, thank you for being on the show. And Karen, she said, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for interviewing. You are welcome, Karen. I greatly appreciate it. I know she's I love Gabrielle. I love all the way in Texas. This is why, y'all, you should use social media to connect with people like this and to enlarge your territory. This is the purpose of social media, not to be like, who's it ain't about that. You know, you can do that like face to face, like way back in the day. Use social media to enlarge your territory and to network and to meet like-minded individuals. And thank you, Bessie. She said, you want to thank everyone for joining. I do too. Thank you, everybody, for joining. You have anything else you want us to know before we go? Anything else you'd like to say?
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure being on the Lady Boss Show. Absolute pleasure. And I wish you much success in your I literally just thought, I was like, oh my gosh, this lady is gonna have a talk show soon. Like, oh my gosh. And I want to be like, yeah, I was there at the beginning. I was like, okay, I was there at the beginning. I can see it. You interviewing people on, I mean, just so much class and so much grace. So I just want you to be encouraged. And thank you so much for just giving women like me and others a platform to just talk and have girl chats. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for accepting the offer. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for the encouraging words, because Lord knows I need it. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And one last comment. Thank you, Dana, for your comment. Oh, you're welcome for showcasing your cousin. You're absolutely welcome. And so next week is going to be on the 28th. Lady Boss Show is going to be on the 28th. I believe it's on a Thursday. My next guest is going to be Shabri Henry. She is, I call her the Affirmation Queen, and she's an author too. She's a member of the Perry Girls group. She does a lot, and she has her own little custom designs. So she has her own business as well. So I definitely want everyone, if you're not able to join us live, watch the replay and share this out. So this is going to be also uploaded to the YouTube channel. So the Nashvillefication Boutique does have a YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow it over there as well. So thank everybody for joining us. Till next time. Bye.
Ciao.